The rain-slicked streets of San Diego gleamed under the street lamp's harsh glow, turning my frantic dash home into a nightmare of puddles and regret. I slammed my shoulder against the front door, the deadbolt mocking me with its unyielding click, my house keys mocking me from the kitchen counter, where I'd left them in a haze of exhaustion after another 12-hour shift at the hospital. In that split second of defeat, as thunder rumbled like a warning from the gods, the neighbor's porch light flickered on, and there he was, young, steady, a stranger's son with eyes that pierced the storm and pulled me back from the edge. I stood there, drenched to the bone, my white coat clinging like a second skin, water dripping from my dark curls into my eyes. Alex Rivera, 35 and fraying at the edges, reduced to a shivering mess on my own doorstep. The house I'd bought 5 years ago after the divorce, my sanctuary of solitude, now felt like a fortress barring me from the one place I needed to collapse. Work had been hell. A string of emergencies in the air, lives slipping through my fingers like the rain through my lashes. And now this, locked out, alone, with no one to call because I'd burned those bridges long ago. That's when the door across the shared fence creaked open. Not the main house, but the converted garage apartment where the Hale family's grown son lived. Jordan Hale. I'd seen him in passing, tall, broad-shouldered, the kind of easy confidence that came from youth and not yet knowing how the world could grind it down. He was 22, home from college on break, or so the neighborhood whispers went. His parents, the Hales, were the picture of suburban normalcy. Mr. Hale, a retired engineer, Mrs. Hale, a part-time realtor, both in their 50s, polite waves over the fence but never more. Jordan, though, he moved like he didn't quite fit their mold, with his faded band tees and the faint scent of ocean salt that clung to him from late-night surf sessions. "Hey, you okay?" His voice cut through the downpour, low and steady, laced with that California drawl that made everything sound a little less urgent. He stepped onto the porch, barefoot, a towel slung over his shoulder like he'd just emerged from a shower. Lightning flashed, illuminating the sharp angles of his face. High cheekbones inherited from his Japanese mother, the green eyes a surprise from his Irish father. He wasn't smiling, not yet, but there was a warmth in his gaze that made the cold seep a little less deep. I wiped rain from my face, trying to summon some dignity. Yeah, just locked myself out. He's inside. Story of my life. My voice cracked on the last word, betraying the exhaustion I usually hid behind a professional smile. He nodded, like he'd heard that tone before in himself. Wait here. Before I could protest, he vanished inside, returning with an umbrella and a spare keyring that jingled like salvation. My folks keep extras for emergencies. Figured you might need it. I stared at the key to my own door, labeled neatly in Mrs. Hale's handwriting. How long had they had this? Neighbors watching out, the kind of quiet kindness I'd forgotten existed after my ex had packed up and left, citing my endless shifts as the final straw. Thank you, really. No sweat. He handed over the umbrella too, his fingers brushing mine, warm, calloused from whatever part-time gig kept him afloat. That touch lingered, electric in the storm's hum. I'm Jordan, by the way, live next door. Or under it, technically. Alex, I said, unlocking the door with a click that felt like surrender. The warmth of my hallway beckoned, but I hesitated, turning back. Oh, you won. Coffee? Tomorrow, if the rain stops. His eyes crinkled at the corners, a half-smile breaking through. Deal. But only if you promise not to lock yourself out again. As he retreated into the night, I closed the door, leaning against it, heart pounding not from the cold but from something unnamed, stirring after years of dormancy. Little did I know, that key wasn't just to my house, it was to a door I'd slammed shut on myself long ago. The next morning dawned clear, the kind of San Diego blue that washed away the night's sins. I brewed coffee strong enough to revive the dead, my ritual for shaking off the ghosts of sleepless shifts. At 35, I'd built a life of routines. AR by day, solitude by night. The occasional bar pickup that never led anywhere because trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. My ex, Mark, had been the last real try. 5 years of trying to make normal fit around my chaos, ending in a quiet dissolution that left me questioning if love was just another diagnosis I couldn't cure. I stepped onto the porch with 2 mugs, steam curling like unanswered questions. Jordan was already out, tinkering with a beat-up skateboard on his driveway, his lithe frame moving with the grace of someone who'd grown up chasing waves at La Jolla Cove. He wore board shorts and a tank top that showed the faint tattoos snaking up his arm. A dragon curling toward his shoulder, waves crashing at his wrist. Art from his travels, maybe, or rebellion against the Hales' buttoned-up world. Morning, hero, I called, holding up the mugs. He glanced up, that smile flashing full now, bright as the sun. Smells better than hospital cafeteria. He wiped his hands on a rag, sauntering over. Up close, he smelled like salt and citrus, fresh from the beach. We settled on my porch steps, the fence between us a flimsy barrier. So, doc, huh? He sipped, eyes on me over the rim. Must be intense. I shrugged, the weight of it settling in. Saves lives, breaks hearts. You, community college, graphic design, and odd jobs, surf instructor on weekends. He leaned back, elbows on the step behind him, posture open in a way that made my chest tighten. Dad wants me in engineering, like him. Mom just wants grandkids someday. The words hung, laced with something unspoken. I knew that script, the expectations that chafed like ill-fitting clothes. Families, right? Mine's back in Texas, all machismo and, when are you settling down? After the divorce. I trailed off, surprised at my own candor. His gaze softened. Divorce sucks. My uncle went through it, came out as gay after. Family drama central. He said it casual, but his fingers tightened on the mug. Uncle. The word landed soft, but it cracked something open. I nodded, throat tight. Yeah, mine was. That too. Or part of it. We sat in that shared silence, the ocean's distant roar filling the gaps. It wasn't pity in his eyes, it was recognition. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like the broken doctor next door. I felt seen. By afternoon, the conversation had spilled inside. I'd offered to fix his skateboard's busted wheel as thanks, tools scattered across my living room rug. He sprawled on the couch, sketching on a notepad, bold lines of waves and hidden faces. You ever surf? He asked, pencil pausing. Once. Wiped out spectacularly. I laughed, tightening a bolt. Our knees brushed as he shifted, and neither of us moved away. Lesson sometime? I could teach you. His voice dropped, playful but edged with intent. I met his eyes, green depths pulling me in. I'd like that. That night, as he left with a repaired board and a promise for tomorrow, I realized the change had already begun. The house that once echoed with emptiness now hummed with possibility. But possibility, I'd learn, came with storms of its own. Days blurred into a rhythm neither of us questioned. Mornings on the porch with coffee turning to lazy afternoons trading stories over takeout from the Thai place down the block. Jordan's laugh was infectious, a deep rumble that loosened the knots in my shoulders. He talked about his art, visions of comics that captured the raw ache of growing up queer in a straight-laced suburb, hidden messages in the panels for those who looked close. It's like code, he'd say, sketching a quick figure on a napkin. Our hands overlapping as I pointed out a shadow. Only some people get it. I shared fragments of my own code. The boy I'd kissed behind the bleachers in high school, the fear that choked it silent, the late-night confessions to Mark that started as whispers and ended in shouts. I thought love meant compromise. I admitted one evening, sunset painting the living room gold. We were on the floor now, pizza boxes forgotten, his head resting on my thigh as he doodled. But it just meant losing myself. He looked up, expression fierce. Nah. Love's the thing that finds you when you're locked out in the rain. His fingers traced my knee, light as a question. The air thickened, charged like the eve of a squall. I leaned down, heart hammering, and our lips met, soft at first, tentative, then hungry, years of restraint unraveling in the taste of him. Salt and sweetness, youth and certainty. His hand cupped my neck, pulling me closer, and for that moment, the world narrowed to the press of his body against mine, warm and real. We broke apart breathless, foreheads touching. Is this okay? He murmured, vulnerability cracking his bravado. More than, I whispered, pulling him back. That night marked the shift, from neighbors to something fragile, electric. We explored each other with the caution of explorers charting unknown shores. His body lean and strong under my hands, tattoos mapping stories I ached to learn. Mine, marked by time's gentle scars, met with reverence that healed old wounds. In the quiet after, tangled in sheets that smelled of us, he traced my collarbone. Stay, I said, not just for the night. He did, until dawn's light filtered through the blinds. But secrets in suburbia have a way of surfacing. A week later, as we walked hand in hand to the beach, our first public step, Mrs. Hale's car pulled into the driveway. She waved, smile faltering at the sight of us. Jordan? Alex? What's? Jordan squeezed my hand, chin lifting. Mom, this is Alex, my boyfriend. The word hung, bold and unyielding. Her eyes widened, flicking between us, then softened with something like dawning understanding. Oh, well, dinner Sunday. Both of you. It wasn't acceptance, not yet, but it was a door cracked open. My own shadows loomed larger. At work, a colleague's offhand joke about the gay doctor next door reached my ears, twisted into rumors that made shifts unbearable. Whispers in the break room. Rivera's got a boy toy. Careful or he'll recruit you. Laughter that cut deeper than scalpels. I brushed it off, but doubt crept in. Jordan was young, full of fire. I was tethered by a career that demanded perfection, a past that whispered I wasn't enough. One night, after a brutal shift saving a kid from a car wreck only to lose his father hours later, I came home hollow. Jordan waited with dinner, but I pushed him away. Us. It's complicating everything. His face crumpled. Because of work? Or because you're scared? Both. The word exploded. Raw. I'm 35, Jordan. You've got your whole life. What if I'm just holding you back? He stood, eyes blazing. Or what if you're the first thing that's real? Don't lock me out, Alex. Not now. The argument hung heavy, unresolved. He stormed to his apartment, door slamming like thunder. Days passed in strained silence. Polite waves over the fence, but the spark dimmed. I threw myself into work, volunteering for extra shifts, anything to numb the ache. But the ER's fluorescent lights couldn't drown the memory of his touch, his laugh echoing in empty rooms. Then came the call that shattered it all. Mrs. Hale, voice trembling. Alex, it's Jordan. Accident on the highway. He's at your hospital. My world tilted. I raced through corridors I knew by heart, badge granting passage to the trauma bay where he lay. Pale, monitors beeping steady but accusatory. Surfboard strapped to the truck's roof, swerving to avoid a drunk driver. Broken ribs, concussion but alive. His parents huddled outside, Mr. Hale's arm around her, faces etched with fear. We didn't know, she whispered when I emerged. About you too, but thank God you're here. Inside, Jordan stirred as I took his hand. Hey doc, he rasped, weak smile flickering. Told you I'd wipe out. Tears burned. Idiot, don't scare me like that. Promise. His grip tightened. No more locking out. In that sterile room, with beeps and whispers as witnesses, I kissed his knuckles. Never again. Recovery was a slow tide. Weeks of hospital visits blurring into home care. Me on leave, tending him in my house, our house now. His parents visited, awkward at first, then thawing. Shared meals where Mr. Hale grilled about my Texas roots, Mrs. Hale slipping Jordan art supplies with a wink. For the both of you, she'd say. But the real storm brewed outside. The hospital board summoned me. Complaints from staff about inappropriate relationships with a patient. Never mind, he was my neighbor first. Optics mattered in their world. Discretion, Dr. Rivera, the chairwoman said, eyes cold. Or we reconsider your position. I fought back, citing policies, but the threat lingered like a shadow. Jordan sensed it, pushing through PT to stand on his own. Fight it, he urged one night, sketching us as superheroes on his cast. Me with a stethoscope cape, him wielding a wave. Or we run. Start over somewhere the ocean's louder. Tempting, but roots ran deep, my patience, this home we'd claimed. The climax came at the neighborhood block party, strings of lights twinkling against the dusk. Whispers had spread. The accident, the ambulance, now us arm in arm. A cluster of busybodies cornered me by the grill, older docs from the hospital, faces pinched. Alex, think of your reputation. That boy's half your age. Jordan overheard, stepping forward, Cain forgotten in his fury. Half my age means twice the heart. And if you can't see that, you're the ones locked out. The crowd hushed, then murmurs shifted. Nods from younger faces, a clap from Mr. Hale. Mrs. Hale pulled me aside later, pressing a key into my palm. Not to the house, but to their guest room. Family's what we make, she said simply. I tendered my notice the next day, not in defeat but defiance. A smaller clinic downtown welcomed me. Better hours, diverse staff, space for the man I'd become. Jordan graduated that spring, his portfolio bursting with stories of us. Hidden loves inked in color, selling to indie presses that celebrated the queer untold. We married on the beach at sunset, toes in sand, vows exchanged with the waves as chorus. His parents there, beaming. Mine, video called from Texas, voices thick with pride they'd finally voiced. No grand gestures, just us, hands clasped, the lock finally picked. In the end, it wasn't the key that changed everything. It was the hand that offered it, pulling me from the rain into a life where love wasn't a diagnosis, but the cure. The ceremony faded into laughter and salt-kissed hugs, But as the stars wheeled overhead, Jordan and I slipped away to our spot, a secluded cove where the cliffs cradled the sea like a secret. We collapsed onto the blanket, his head on my chest, heartbeat syncing with the tide's rhythm. "Mrs. Rivera," he teased, fingers interlacing with mine, the new rings glinting silver in the moonlight. "Mr. Hale Rivera," I countered, kissing his temple. At 36 now, the lines around my eyes felt less like wear and more like maps to this joy. But even in paradise, doubts whisper, old habits die hard. The first real test came months later, when Jordan's exhibit opened in San Diego's queer art district. Hillcrest buzzed with rainbow flags and gallery hops. His pieces hung bold. A series called Unlocked, panels of shadowed figures emerging from storm-lashed doors into arms of light. Critics raved, buyers snapped up prints, but the real magic was watching him navigate the crowd. Shy smiles turning confident, my hand in his an anchor. Until his father arrived unannounced. Mr. Hale, ever the engineer, clutched a program like a blueprint, eyes scanning the walls. "Powerful stuff, son." Pride edged his voice, but tension coiled beneath. We'd mended fences, but bridges over generational chasms creak. Jordan beamed. "Thanks, Dad. Means a lot." Over wine later, as the gallery emptied, Mr. Hale pulled me aside. "I built dams back in the day, holding back floods. Thought that's what family did. Contain the chaos." He glanced at Jordan, laughing with his mother across the room. "But you showed me, sometimes you gotta let the water through. Change the landscape." His words landed heavy, a father's concession wrapped in metaphor. I clapped his shoulder. "We're all just trying to flow right." Back home, Jordan crashed into bed, buzzing. "Did you see his face? He gets it now." I held him close, but sleep evaded me. The clinic had its own undercurrents. A new admin, sharp-suited and traditional, eyeing my lifestyle with veiled disdain. Charts misplaced, schedules glitched. Petty sabotage, but it gnawed. Was this the cost of visibility? Jordan sensed the shift, as he always did. Mornings, he dragged me surfing at dawn, boards cutting through glassy waves. "Feel that?" He'd yell over the crash, salt spray stinging. "Nothing holds you back out here." One swell, I caught it clean, riding the curl, weightless, his whoop echoing. For a heartbeat, freedom tasted like possibility. But reality crashed harder. A patient, Elena, 16 and terrified, confided in me during a checkup. Bruises hidden under long sleeves, a father's rage over her girlfriend. "He says it's a phase," she whispered, eyes hollow. "But it feels like drowning." I advocated social services counseling, but the system lagged, her file bouncing between desks. Nights, it haunted me, mirroring my own buried fears. Jordan found me at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling. "Talk to me. It's Elena. And us. What if the world's not ready?" He straddled my waist, hands framing my face. "Then we make it ready, one wave at a time." His kiss was fierce, grounding, leading to slow, deliberate lovemaking that reaffirmed our tether. Bodies entwined, whispers of forever. Yet dawn brought Elena's crisis. A runaway call, police involved. I drove through the night, Jordan beside me, to the shelter where she'd holed up. Huddled in a corner, she unfolded at my voice. "You're safe now." Jordan sketched her a quick portrait. Fierce eyes unbroken, handing it over like armor. "Draw your own story," he said. Her parents arrived, faces crumpling. Not with anger, but regret. Counseling followed, a fragile bridge. In the aftermath, Elena's thank you note arrived. "You unlocked something in me." At the clinic, the admin's games escalated. A formal warning for boundary issues. I confronted her, voice steady. "Love isn't the problem. Ignorance is." She blinked, then nodded curtly. Noted. A small victory, but it rippled, colleagues stepping up, allies emerging. Jordan's career surged too. A graphic novel deal for Unlocked, tours planned, but success bred strain. Late nights at the drafting table, my shifts overlapping. One argument erupted over forgotten anniversary dinner. "You're always saving the world, Alex. Who saves us?" "God, I'm sorry." I pulled him close, apologies dissolving into reconciliation on the kitchen floor, tiles cool against fevered skin. We recommitted, date nights etched in ink, therapy for the scars we carried. His parents hosted Thanksgiving, table groaning with turkey and tamales, toasts to family redefined. My Texas kin joined via Zoom, abuela's blessing a bomb, amor no tien cerraduras. Winter brought Jordan's book launch, shelves stocked nationwide. Signings drew crowds, queer youth with stories mirroring his, hugs exchanged like lifelines. One boy, no older than Elena, clutched a copy. This made me brave. Jordan teared up later in our bed. We did that. Together. Always. Yet spring unearthed buried roots. A letter from Mark, my ex. Pages of regret. I was wrong to leave. Curiosity piqued. I met him for coffee, neutral ground. Older, softer, he admitted. Seeing you happy. It's what I couldn't give. Closure, not temptation. I drove home to Jordan, spilling it all. Past's just a key I don't need anymore. He grinned, pulling me into the garden we'd planted. Roses blooming defiant. Good. Ours is the one that fits. As petals fell like confetti, I realized. Change wasn't the neighbor's son letting me in. It was choosing to stay, door wide, heart unlocked. Summer sweltered in, turning our coastal haven into a haze of heat and honeysuckle. Jordan's tour kicked off. LA to New York, panels and podcasts dissecting Unlocked as a queer manifesto. I tagged along when I could, stealing moments in hotel rooms. City lights painting his skin as we mapped each other anew, laughter echoing off high ceilings. This is living, he'd murmur, fingers tracing my spine. But distance tested us. A week in Chicago, he called late, voice edged with fatigue. Crowd loved it, but feels hollow without you anchoring me. 2 more days, then we're beach-bound. True to word, we escaped to Big Sur post-tour. Cabins perched on cliffs, fog rolling in like a lover's breath. Hikes turned intimate. Hands linked on trails, pausing to kiss against redwoods ancient as our fears. One evening, bonfire crackling, he unveiled a new sketch. Us as intertwined vines, roots deep. For our next chapter, emotion choked me. Kids? Or just more us? He shrugged, eyes dancing. Both? If you want. The idea bloomed tentative, fostering maybe kids like Elena needing homes unlocked by love. We tabled it, content in the now. Back home, my clinic thrived. A queer health initiative launched, drawing patients from shadows. Elena volunteered, her art adorning walls, bold strokes of survival. You gave me the key, she said, hugging fierce. Pride Month amplified it. Parades, panels, our float a nod to Unlocked with Jordan emceeing, me waving beside. Cheers reigned, but a heckler's slur cut through. Freak show! Jordan faltered mid-sentence. I pulled him close on stage, mic in hand. Love's the strongest story, yours or mine. The crowd roared back, drowning the hate. Backstage, he trembled in my arms. That was you, brave. We, I corrected, sealing it with a kiss amid confetti. But autumn winds carried sharper edges. Jordan's publisher pushed a sequel, deadlines looming like storm clouds. My shifts intensified, a flu outbreak straining resources. Weary nights bred friction. Forgotten groceries, snapped words over dishes. One blowout, rain lashing windows, he packed a bag. Space, Alex. Before we break. Panic surged. Don't, please. He paused, bag dropping. Then fight for us. Like you do for them. We collapsed together. Tears mingling, bodies seeking solace in familiar rhythms. Slow, desperate, reaffirming. Dawn brought coffee and covenants. Therapy dates, shared calendars, no more solo storms. His parents sensed the ripple, inviting us for a weekend at their lake cabin. First real getaway as the boys. Fishing lines cast, beers cracked, Mr. Hale opened up. Lost my brother young, to silence, not sickness. Wish I'd known how to say it. Jordan's hand found mine under the table. You say it now, Dad. That's enough. Healing layered like lake silt. Winter's gift was Elena's call. Accepted to art school, crediting our light. We celebrated with her family. Once fractured, now mending. Dinner laughter healing old hurts. Jordan's sequel brewed. Open doors. Weaving our tales subtly. Fostering threads prominent. Signings swelled with families, youth finding mirrors. Yet a shadow loomed. My annual checkup revealed early hypertension, stress's toll. Jordan fussed, cooking kale smoothies, dragging me to yoga. You're not invincible, Doc. His care mended more than meds. In quiet moments, he'd read drafts aloud, voice weaving magic, pulling me into worlds where love triumphed. Spring renewal. We fostered our first. Tommy, 12, wide-eyed from group homes. Awkward at first. His guarded silences mirroring my old self. But Jordan's comics cracked him open. My stories of our heroes sealing trust. Picnics on the beach, building sandcastles of dreams. This house, it's home. Always, I said, arm around them both. The admin retired, her replacement an ally, rainbow pin on her badge. Clinic expanded, Elena interning, her exhibit keys echoing ours. Summer looped back, hotter, brighter. Jordan's book dropped to acclaim, tours lighter with Tommy tagging along for kid panels. One night, stars thick, he proposed expansion. Adopt him, make it forever. Kneeling in the surf, ring from his sketches, vines entwined. I said yes, waves applauding. Change, we'd learned, wasn't a single door flung wide. It was every knob turned together, every lock picked in tandem, revealing rooms of grace we never knew waited. Fall painted the coast in ochre and rust, leaves skittering like forgotten promises. Tommy settled in, his laughter a new soundtrack, video games blaring, skateboard tricks in the driveway echoing Jordan's youth. At 13 now, birthday surprise. A custom board etched with waves. He navigated middle school with our coaching. Own your story, kid. No hiding. But adolescence brewed tempests. A bully's taunt, fag family, sparked a fight, suspension looming. Home. Fists clenched, he exploded. Why can't we be normal? Jordan knelt, steady. Normal's a lie, Tommy. We're epic, superheroes in board shorts. I added softer. And heroes get scars, but they heal stronger. Counseling wove us tighter, his sketches evolving. Family portraits with capes and crests. Elena mentored his art club, their bond sibling-like. Work pulled me deeper. A grant for LGBTQ plus youth health, clinics in underserved pockets. Late nights grading proposals, Jordan waited with Coco, critiques gentle. Save the world, but come home to yours. His own world expanded. A mentorship at UCSD, teaching graphic narratives to queer undergrads. They're like me at that age, he'd say, eyes alight. Hungry for keys. Thanksgiving gathered us all. Hales, my Texas clan flown in. Tommy's biomom visiting tentative. Tables groaned with fusion. Tamales alongside turkey. Stories bridging divides. Abuela cornered Jordan. You make my boy shine. Mil benditions. Tears pricked. He hugged fierce. Family's the best plot twist. Winter whispered challenges. Tommy's mom relapsed. Custody wobbles threatening. Court dates loomed. Lawyers droning legalese. Jordan paced, sketching escape fantasies. Us fleeing to islands. Fight or flight? Fight. I vowed, hand in his. Testimony poured out. Our home's haven. Love's lattice holding him safe. Judge ruled in our favor. Adoption papers signed under holiday lights. Tommy's grin pure, unshadowed, worth every battle. New Year's, we toasted on the porch. To unlocked futures. Spring surged with Tommy's bar mitzvah. His choice, blending heritages. Jewish dad from foster lore. Synagogue filled with our patchwork tribe. Hales beaming, Elena snapping pics, Patience sharing pews. His speech, scripted with Jordan. I was locked in fear once. Now, doors everywhere. Pride swelled hearts. Our float evolved. Tommy captaining, rainbow cape billowing. Crowds chanted. Love's roar drowning echoes of old hates. But summer scorched truths bare. Jordan's mentor offered tenure. Full-time, tenured track. Stability, he said, but eyes searched mine. Your clinic's booming too. We can't both chase stars. Clash brewed slow. My expansion plans clashing his prep time. Arguments simmered. Missed dinners, curt texts. One night, Tommy asleep, we faced off. You're pulling away, he accused. And you're building walls. I shot back. This house, our home, feels like a pit stop. Silence stretched, raw. Then tears. I don't want to lose us to ambition. Embrace followed. Apologies and kisses turning tender. Reaffirming on the living room rug. Slow, soul deep, recommitting. We chose balance. His adjunct role, my part-time admin, date nights mandatory. Beach bonfires, just us. Fall's harvest. Tommy's first crush. A classmate named Riley, shy smiles over lunchboxes. We coach gentle. Listen to your heart, not the noise. Jordan's third book, Family Keys. Wove Tommy's arc. Dedications to us all. Launch party at home. Backyard strung with lights. Laughter healing old fractures. Winter's hush brought news. I'm expecting, well, surrogacy underway. Our bio kid on horizon. Jordan hooped, spinning me. Tommy high-fived. Sibling squad. Hales planned nurseries. Abuela knitted booties cross-country. Spring bloomed miracles. Baby girl, Sophia, arriving pink and wailing. Hospital room a cocoon. Jordan's tears on her tiny fist. Tommy's awe, my heart full. Pride that year, stroller in tow, Sophia's coos amid cheers. Elena's now partner pushed, their love a parallel tale. Changes tapestry, threads of storm and sun, woven tight by hands that never let go, neighbors turn soulmates, unlocking not just doors, but destinies. Sophia's first summer unfolded in giggles and sunscreen, her chubby fists grabbing at waves as we picnicked on Coronado sands. At 38, fatherhood reshaped me. Sleepless nights traded scalpel precision for bottle feeds. Jordan's lullabies a duet in the nursery. Tommy, 14 and lanky, played Big Brother fierce. She's got your eyes, Dad Alex. Jordan's laugh rumbled. Lucky her. Our rhythm hummed. Clinic mornings for me, studio afternoons for him. Evenings a tangle of baths and bedtime stories. His comics animated. My ER tales sanitized to heroes only. But growth's green shoots invite weeds. Tommy's school play cast him as the lead, queer teen finding voice. But director balked at family authenticity. Whispers of agenda. We rallied. Jordan scripted revisions, Elena designed sets, Hales attended rehearsals. Opening night, house packed, Tommy shone. Ovation thunderous, tears are applause. Post-show, a parent's barb at pickup. Pushing your lifestyle on kids? Jordan's retort calm fire. Teaching truth. Try it. Bruise lingered. We debriefed over ice cream. Tommy shrugging. Haters gonna hate. I nailed it. Pride in his resilience swelled us. Falls Forge. Sophia's first steps, wobbling to Jordan's open arms. Our cheers a chorus. But my hypertension flared. Stress from a malpractice suit. Bogus claim from a disgruntled patient. Lawyers circled. Shadows over holidays. Jordan anchored. We've beaten worse. Nights, his massages eased knots. Lovemaking a reclaiming. Passionate, present, bodies vows renewed. Thanksgiving, suit pending, we feasted anyway. Sophia in high chair, mashing yams. Tommy's tales of crushes evolving. Abuela visited. Her stories of hidden loves in old Mexico bridging eras. Corazon knows no locks. Winter's verdict. Case dismissed. Vindication sweet. We celebrated with a cabin retreat. Snow rare in San Diego, but Big Bear blanketed us white. Sledding with kids, Jordan's snowball ambushes, fireside cuddles. This us is unbreakable. Spring's thaw. Elena's wedding, us best men. Vows echoing ours. Her art gallery reception a riot of color. Tommy danced with Riley, first sparks official. Jordan's keynote at a lit fest. Stories unlock us. Share yours. Summer scorched ambitions. Clinic merger offered, director role travel. Tempting legacy, but Sophia's babble tugged. Jordan confessed parallel. Film adaptation pitch for his books, LA meetings. Crossroads loomed. Dinner debates. Legacy or legacy here? Pondered. He squeezed my hand. Both, if we build together. We negotiated, shared sabbaticals, hybrid lives, my interim directorship, his consulting gigs. Falls fruit. Sophia's words, Dada Joe, melting us. Tommy's homecoming dance, us chaperoning discreet. His thank you text, you guys make normal cool. Winter wonder. Family portrait session, Jordan's lens capturing us windswept on cliffs. Sophia giggling, Tommy smirking, our arms entwined. Pride evolved. Family booth at the fair, kids' story hours from his books. A dad's approach, my son's like Tommy, this helps. Jordan's hug, you're the hero now. Changes cycle? Not linear climbs but spirals, deepening doors within doors, love the master key turning ever onward. Autumn's amber deepened resolve. Sophia, toddling terror at 2, orchestrated chaos. Crayons on walls, her babbles a babble of surf and story. Tommy, 15, navigated driver's ed with Jordan's patient wheel, my white-knuckled passenger seat. Clinic merger solidified. My role balanced travel with telehealth, Jordan's adaptation greenlit, screenwriter collabs in LA, weekends home. Strain simmered. Missed recitals, delayed dinners. One blow-up, Sophia napping, Tommy at practice. We're drifting, Jordan said, voice frayed. Building dreams, I countered weary. Dreams without us? Reconciliation raw, therapy unpacked. His abandonment ghosts from college flings, my provider's guilt from ER losses. Partners, not saviors. Our mantra. Winter's weave, holidays hybrid, Texas for Abuela's tamales, then Hales Lake for skates. Sophia's first snowman, Tommy's slushball wars, our skates hand in hand on ice. Slips and laughs, steadying each other. New Year's resolve, monthly us escapes, no kids, just stolen horizons. Spring spark. Adaptation table read, Jordan flying to set visits. I joined for a weekend, Hollywood bustle contrasting our coast calm. Dinner with cast. Queer icons toasting his vision, my pride swelling. But envy nipped. A co-writer's flirt. Innocent but stinging. Home, I confessed. Insecure old man here. He pulled me close. My heart's coastal. Always. Summer symphony. Family road trip. Route 1 meandering. Big Sur cliffs. Monterey aquariums. Sophia's awe at otters. Tommy's surf lessons for her. Nights in motels. Kids asleep. We'd slip out. Stars above. Hands exploring. Whispers of mine. Falls Forge. Tommy's coming out. Quiet over breakfast. I'm by. Riley's. More. Hugs enveloped. Proud. We chorused. School counselor looped. Allies fortified. Jordan's film wrapped principal photography. Premiere invites glittering. We attended as family. Red carpet surreal. Sophia waving. Tommy starstruck. Our tuxes twinned. Reviews raved. A key to queer hearts. Q&A. Jordan credited. My husband's, plural in spirit, unlocked this. Winter's warmth. Sophia's preschool nativity. Her angel wings askew. Stealing the show. Hales hosted Mr. Hale's speech. From dams to doors, thanks to you boys. Spring's bloom. Elena's baby announcement. Us godparents tapped. Nursery paint party. Laughter layering bonds. Tommy's prom. Us tying bow ties. Photos framed forever. You made this safe, he said. Pride pinnacle. Film screened festival close. Standing ovation. After party toasts to unlocked lives. A fan's note to Jordan. Your story saved mine. Changes essence? Not grand gestures, but daily turns. Keys passed in rain. Hands held through gales. Love's quiet click opening infinities. Summer's zenith crested with Sophia's third birthday. Beach bash. Piñata bursting candy like confetti dreams. At 40, I marveled. Gray threading my curls, but vitality thrummed. Clinic thriving. Jordan's sequel scripting. Kids orbiting our sun. Tommy, 16, captain debate team. Arguments fierce on identity rights. Our dinner debates his training ground. You two modeled it, he'd say. Riley now steady boyfriend. Double dates our norm. Fall's fanfare. Jordan's premiere after-party lingered. Industry nods. But we slipped early. Home to kids welcome. High fives. Sophia's movie star dada. Winter's whisper. Abuela's health dip. Flu turning pneumonia. We flew Texas. ICU vigil. Her hand in mine. Stories of my youth. Jordan translating emotions to Spanish. Mi nieto, you found your wave. She rallied, home for Christmas, virtual if not visceral. Spring's surge. Elena's shower. Us co-hosting, gender-neutral blues. Toasts to chosen paths. Tommy's license earned. First solo drive. Us tailing discreet. Hearts in throats. Safe return. Nailed it. Jordan's next project. Graphic memoir collab with Tommy. Teen eyes on family lore. Studio sessions bonded them. Inks flowing father-son secrets. Summer sojourn, Europe backpack. Kids with Hales. Us in Paris, Rome. Sane strolls hand in hand. Colosseum whispers. Empires fell. We endure. Home re-entry. Sophia's cling. Tommy's eye rolls. Grounding sweet. Fall's fire. Clinic award LGBTQ plus ally of year. Gala speech. Doors opened by love. Held by community. Jordan's film Oscar buzz. Nom nod for adapted screenplay. Campaign trail hectic, but family first. Red carpet all in. Sophia's gown twirl stealing flashes. Winter's win announced live TV our hug viral. Acceptance. For every locked heart. This key's yours. Spring seed. Sophia's questions. Why two dadas? Answered simple. Love's shape varies. Ours fits perfect. Tommy's graduation looming college apps. Art school like Jordan. Pride mingled bittersweet. Summer's summit. Ceremony caps. Speeches soaring. His doors you opened, Dad's. Walked through forever. Empty nest loomed, but we leaned in. Renewal vows on our beach. Rings refreshed. Waves witnessing. Fall's flourish. Elena's birth. Us bedside. Tiny nephew. Cycle spinning. Jordan's retirement tease. More stories at home? Mine echoed. With you? Always. Winter's wisdom. Abuela's visit. Sophia's lap tales. Legacy laced. Pride's procession. Float legacy. Now grandkids aboard someday. Change's chronicle? A lifetime of clicks, from rain-slick key to heart's grand arch. Every turn a testament. Love unlocks not ends, but eternities.